to the Dwarven like an airship, this is going to look kind of weird. And so what I do is I'll use the more orthographic stamps because the isometric stamps might be a little harder to make one. And so what I'll do is I'll just pick one stamp from the Dwarven style in that flat facing. And then what I'll do is I'll flip it and then place it down right underneath of it. And what we're going to make is like a floating city type of airship. It doesn't work with air balloons, or it doesn't work with propellers. It's going to be propelled by magic. That's what's going to be keeping this floating city up. To show that this is below, I'll also bring the brightness down because the light is coming from above. And so the top of this floating city or airship will have the most amount of light, while the bottom part of the city or airship will be in the dark. So we'll make that a little bit darker. And then I want to add a little bit more to it. I don't want it to be perfectly symmetrical. Right now, it just looks like two stamps that are mirrored. So what I should do is should probably keep adding more to it. So I'll change it to where the top looks a little different. Like I can add this little piece here. Let's also change that brightness because I want it to be the proper brightness. And then let's add another Dwarven piece up at the top to maybe there's like a tower or something, or a control tower of some kind. So we'll type in Dwarven. And I think we'll use this one at the top here. This will work great. And now I have this kind of floating city going on like this. There's this strange line work in the center there. Let's remove that. Let's add in like a scale of some kind. Maybe I can put like a scale like on top of it. Like maybe this will represent like a disc that the city or the airship is on top of. Maybe I should change it to a bluish color instead. I'll desaturate it so it kind of matches with the color properly. So I think overall that looks good. And then maybe I also want to show some kind of, like there's some kind of magic thrusters of some kind. So I could like take these right here and place them maybe on the ends like this. Let's flip this one. And then I'll put some crystals at the top just to kind of represent that these are indeed, it's magic that's keeping it up. So then I can go into heraldry, and there should be these crystals in the heraldry, and I'll just place one like this, each on top. And if we take a step back like this, we kind of have this floating kind of city or floating Dwarven airship. So now you have this nice ship here. Other things that you can do are to add like light sources, like go to Fantasy Battle Maps and take a light source, and then you can put some lights inside of the windows. You can also use a line for that. So I could go over here to the line tool. Let's use the pen, and I just go like this. Now that's going to be pretty big at first. I'll go it all the way up. If I go over, change this to a color. There we go. Let's change it to... let's maybe change it to a purple color. There we go. So now I have this purple color right here. That works well. And I also might want to consider maybe blurring it. And then maybe bringing the size down, bringing the blur down. And then I can just copy and paste that and then place these light sources in whichever window that I want to have them. So maybe one over here, maybe in these towers right here. You could do the same thing with a light source. Let's definitely put one right here at the very top. That kind of makes sense. Up there, I think that looks good. And now I have my light sources there, and I have this kind of airship that's going. So I'll create the group, and I'm just going to call it Dwarven Airship. Now let's go ahead and take a look what other people kind of have inside the chat. Please share some ideas in the chat. I'm not seeing a whole lot. I also have a question that I missed here. I only use Inkarnate for Masterclass. I only use Inkarnate. I don't use anything else. I don't use, I don't upload any custom art. I use all stock art. I don't really see the point of using art outside of it. That doesn't mean that you can't, but me personally, I just find it more of a challenge to use the art within the tool instead of importing my own. And I